The year is coming to an end, and truth be told, I thought this island would be much further along, but well, here we are. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we are on Calathea because I thought before the new year starts, it's once again time for a little update and also just kind of refocusing my plans. I initially started this island back in April, so literally 8 months ago. And initially I wanted it to be a forever island. I then kind of ditched the idea around July just because it wasn't really working for me and decided to go for a more themed approach with a botanical garden island. And when I shared the first update of that island with like an entrance and shrub area built up, I was honestly kind of blown away by the response. Ever since then, I have uploaded another update where I added a bunch of little construction zones and then made an in-progress DA. And then I did another update about 3 months ago now, where I also decided to basically take this island slow and kind of focus on some others for the time being. All right, so what changed since then? Did anything change? Why don't we check? All right, here we are at the entrance. And at first glance, you might not notice like anything being different, right? If you've seen this island before, this entrance is honestly still pretty much the same, but I don't really know how to tell you this, and I don't think there's an easy way to tell you this, but I have pretty much not really made any progress. So I don't know if this is an update or more like a downgrade, because I have torn most of this island down at this point. My villager lineup, honestly, I think is very, very cute. And I still am really in love with this idea. I'll chat about that in a second, but I don't know what it is about this island. I just keep questioning it. I just keep questioning every little decision that I make. It's just constantly making me tear everything down. So very brief update in case you haven't seen this island before. It is supposed to be a botanical garden. So I kind of wanted to turn the entrance into an actual entrance to that garden. This is where you can get your tickets. I even decorated the interior of this house. I think this is Peggy, but if me not knowing who lives here isn't telling you enough about how much I've been playing on this island, then I don't know. But yeah, I decorated the interior. So like this is a full-on like ticket stand. I decided to have little gyros kind of working on this island, which I'm still really in love with. Like we have a little gyro greeting you over here if you arrive at the airport. And then over here, there's one kind of guiding you into your parking spots. And then here comes the first change. So I kind of noticed that I had this assortment of codes that was pretty much taking up my entire code like app, and it just wasn't really working out for me perfectly because there was this pond code and the one I'm also standing on. I also had the entire path, like the entire 9 tiles, and I just felt like that was too much. Like I felt like I needed to reduce it. So I brought it way down, removed the pond code because I don't really see myself using it at the time. And then I reduced this pebble path to only 2 tiles. In case you're interested in any of the codes I use, I do have them on my website, sparksby.com, or if you can't find them there, then they probably are on my Pinterest. I will link that one down below as well. But basically what I did here is I just took this entire thing down again, put some in-game pathing down, and then placed the like middle tiles on top of it. And to be honest, I don't think you can really tell the difference like that much. So yeah, we just have like a bit of a sharper corner, I guess, here. I also did actually create this little opening. So before I had closed this entire beach off and it kind of like annoyed me a little bit. Yeah, but so what I did now is I have this opening here by the beach. I think what I'll do here is basically just pretend that this is really like a botanical garden island, you know? So people are coming by plane or boat or something. So we might just put like a bunch of boats here as well, and then maybe like a pathway to the parking lot and ticket stand and stuff. So yeah, but now I can finally use the beach. The bridge has pretty much stayed the same. The arch here has stayed the same because I have to say this is probably one of my favorite entrances I've done for some reason. So I really would love to keep that. One thing that has changed is this waterscaping. Now, I don't know if you remember this, but like the last waterscaping that I had here, I had more kind of small little islands on the right hand side, but it looked overall very, very inappropriate. Plus it was also just a ton of space wasted because you couldn't really see this part. So I tried to make it more appropriate, but I think this waterscaping is cursed. I can't even explain it because like if I stand here, I think it doesn't look half bad, you know? Like if I stand here, for example, I think it looks very cute, but it's just something that is kind of throwing me off. I did actually think about just kind of maybe shaping this island here a bit differently, and then we'll just connect the waterscaping to this bridge and then close this here and just put like trees. Maybe there will be like more waterscaping up here, but so just so they're not connected or something. I don't know. I think I was working on that for like an hour when I tried to fix it up, and I just could not get it right. Maybe even longer than that. I don't know. But yeah, so we'll see. Okay, this one has, I think, stayed pretty much the same. And then here's basically the entrance to the botanical garden. And the plan was also to kind of involve resident services in this entire ordeal and just pretend as though that's like one of the official buildings where you can sign up, or like where you can get information on different plans. I imagine this to maybe be the map or something. And then here you can get like pamphlets, you know. And then what I did is, because there actually was an incline here before and you went up on a cliff, and then that was Doc's house. Now I've torn this part down because, once again, I think it annoyed me a little bit that you couldn't really get to the beach. So I've torn the entire part down. I think this still actually works really well. I've kept the cliff up in the background though, because now you get this quite like cute view from right here, which I think, yeah, is quite nice. I mean, there's a bunch of decorations missing, obviously, but so Doc and his research station are also going to stay the same. And then, everything else is gone. So brief recap, this area right here next to my resident services used to be this like shrub garden. Like I had this diagonally planted shrub garden. And then from there on out, it was basically just all struggle. There used to be like a cliff, I think, down here, so you could kind of look at the shrubs, but like walking through them was like really annoying. Again, I'll try and show you a couple of clips. This cliff here was basically just a viewing point, and I tried to kind of also make it work so that you could see the waterscaping, but like nothing really worked out there. And then if you walked like past the shrub area, there was like another cliff. And then I tried to build up this arboretum, which I absolutely hated in the end. So I kind of tore that down again. But yeah, so Fred was supposed to be the caretaker of the arboretum, and that also isn't going to happen. And I don't know what else to say, but there is nothing on this island apart from that. I apparently built up this part, which I don't really even remember what my plan was. I think it's because there's still this voice in my head of like, this is your forever island. So I've been trying to kind of create these areas where I can record videos a little bit easier. So I now have like all the different flower variations here for recording. And then one of my rooms in my house is this like recording studio. Let me actually just show you that. Oh yeah, my main room is kind of like a moving in type of room. It's not bad, you know, for like the moving in vibes from the very start. This is actually kind of cute. And then this is it. You might have seen this in a video or two. I sometimes change like the colors and the wallpaper and the gyroids, but this is kind of like my little recording studio. And that's, I think, what I wanted to do with that outside classroom. So I basically wanted to set up this area where it's like easier for me to record stuff, to put stuff up, to put like a display of items up, etc. But I think I have to kind of like, I love this room. I think that's going to stay, but I think I have to get rid of the outside thing. All right, so why am I even sharing an update? You know, if there's nothing really that's changed or you know, especially changed for the better, I guess. First of all, I think that a lot of people were actually interested in this island, which I really appreciate. Like, it was actually really fun to see so many people excited about this island theme. So I just kind of wanted to share an update, even though I did say I was going to take this island slow and not really pressure myself too much. And number two, I still think this island theme could really work out. Like, I still think this could be totally like up my alley and everything. And so like, I want to make it work. And I've just been struggling to find out how I can do that. So this is basically an update for y'all, but also to hold myself accountable and to kind of constantly rethink this and kind of question what is the issue and try to change that. And I do have a couple of thoughts and a couple of ideas. And I think to better explain that, we might have to go over into a little map planning program. And here we are. If you've never seen this before, this is basically kind of a handy way to plan your map just on your PC. I will link the website down below. This currently is actually my Fall Island Sycamore. I don't know why, but I've recently started kind of planning my maps. and it's actually been going quite okay-ish. So I kind of want to attempt the same thing with Calathea. So let's choose the layout and kind of recreate the map that I have there. Okay, well, they didn't have my actual layout, but that's okay because you can literally move and change like everything. Okay, so my airport and my resident services are kind of like that. My river mouths, I would say, are kind of like that. My secret beach is kind of in the center and my peninsula is on the right hand side, but I don't really think that matters too much. I'm just going to remove this here, and then I will just go ahead and add, I think it's kind of like here. It's not perfect, but you kind of know what I mean, right? And then I'm just going to go ahead and remove everything else, like all the rivers and pretty much all the cliffs, because I want to start from a fresh layout. Okay, there we go. That actually looks a little scary now, but we'll get through it. Also, to explain a couple of things a little bit better, let me go onto my Pinterest because I want to show you some things that are going to be important for this. So I was kind of looking at my Pinterest board again, and I've got a couple of like IRL inspo, but I also do have a couple of like Animal Crossing inspiration. And there were a few that really stuck out to me, and then also a few I added earlier that I really want to stress here. So the first one is this. Unfortunately, I don't really see any credit here, but basically someone created this like butterfly garden, which I think is really pretty. Then I also found this one by the Ava Garden, where they basically planted this like color coordinated diagonal farm. And I've been seeing a bunch of these diagonal farms like around, which I really love and would love to recreate one of these in the future. Then this one by Boys Crossing, I'm pretty sure, with this beautiful kind of like flowery pathway. And then I did also save this one here by Autumn Weeds with like a bit more of a symmetrical like garden layout. And something else that I don't seem to have like a picture of, but that I have in my mind is like a spiral garden. You've probably seen this, like a waterscape kind of spiral. And then oftentimes people plant like just flowers on there or something. They kind of stood out to me because they're very much that botanical garden. You know, like plant builds in pretty shapes, probably in like a bit of a color coordinated way to always like, you know, stress certain flowers or plants or something. And it feels like I've not really been doing that much, although to be fair, I haven't really gotten to the actual botanical garden builds. But I was just kind of trying to figure out how to even get there, because one of my main issues at the minute is continuing after the entrance, and like my usual tricks and tips and stuff don't seem to help me. So, I mean, I do have a house like here, I think. And there is like a tiny cliff just as a backdrop to the house. And then I have Doc's house kind of here next to Resident Services, which I also like. And that's really all I have at the minute. You know, it's not much and it's not really that pretty, but this is pretty much all I have. And one thing I thought about is that I personally love to create like land bridges and sunken areas. And I need to find a way to have builds that kind of showcase certain plant variations or arrangements, if you will. And so I had this idea. You've probably seen like tropical islands like that. But what if we create an island where there's like just a bunch of pathways like on top of a cliff and you look down at other areas? Now, I don't think I want to do that walkway that's like really like straight lines, but we might just create like land bridges in a way, I guess. Okay, so from our bridge, which is like here, right? I'm just going to draw a bridge like this. It's not supposed to be like pretty. It's just supposed to help me a little bit. What I'm going to do maybe is I'm going to draw this water closed. I might change this island like I've shown you before, and then I'll remove this bit and we'll think about this. It could just be like an isolated little island and like waterscaping. I think that honestly kind of works. And then here's like the resident services, you know, and then here's doc study. That will stay. And then how about we go up an incline right here, right? So there's no other option for you but to literally go up to a cliff. I'm gonna say the incline would be kind of like here, you know, just in front of resident services, pretty much right there. And then from here on out, I try and create like pathways and walkways, you know? So there's gonna be like one leading down here, and then it kind of circles around. I do think I actually wanna maybe block off the beaches, you know, and just kind of cover them with flowers in the end or something. And then I'm just gonna try and like landscape these like natural, more or less natural looking pathways, kind of, right? Gonna be kind of like this, you know, following probably the outside shape. And then you're gonna have a bunch of these like pathways, probably one more leading like in here. I don't know how this is gonna work with like trees, you know? And then maybe when they meet, you know, it's gonna be kind of like this. You could use that opportunity for like a house or something. And then every little like area is gonna have something like special, I guess. So sometimes there might be like a lot of blue flowers. Sometimes there might be like a lot of orange flowers. Also, you know, we could actually have a little bit more room right here so that you add like a house onto this part as well. And then standing like here, this will be like a flower sea with a house in the background, you know? And then something else I want to create is this like area where there's a bunch of ponds. So let's say this is going to be that giant pathway over here. And then I'm just going to create these like randomly shaped ponds right there, maybe some butterflies in between, you know, and so it's like this is going to be the butterfly pond area or something. And then one area I thought about, like sometimes there might be like an incline leading down. One area I just thought about was maybe to create like a green mum oasis, you know, and so we'll have an area where like let's say this is going to be an incline leading down like backwards, and then there's going to be like multiple houses maybe, so we're going to do like another one on the cliff, and then a third one here. And then this is going to be filled pretty much with green mums, which I don't think oh, wait, I do have them. Oh, there's even the different flowers. Okay, that's great. Okay, the green mums are tiny, but you know what I'm saying, right? So like this is going to be completely filled with like green mums. There we go. Or I also thought about this part where like maybe towards the back of the island, I'll build up like a more sturdy cliff in a way. So we can also build like another one on top of this. And then once again, in some way, this will kind of be surrounded. And then maybe we'll create like a rock garden, you know? So this will be like a bunch of, how many rocks are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 6. And then maybe this is going to be the part where like we've got special lily of the valley spawning. So it's going to be kind of this like land bridge kind of elevated walkway kind of thing. You just go up here. We block pretty much everything else off. So you have to go up there and you have to walk there. Obviously, these are like very random shapes. I don't think I'm going to go in and like recreate this exactly, but this was more just to explain kind of my idea behind it. I also have absolutely no idea what to do just yet with like the shops and the campsite and everything. I feel like those are all, yeah, not really buildings that fit this very well. But apart from that, that's the main idea. I might be taking my Switch with me over the holidays when I visit my parents, and then maybe try and work on like something like a basic layout or something. I also can imagine like posting some more videos about this, maybe even a long play where I work on a specific build. Let me know if there's anything in particular that you'd like to see. And with that, I think that is where I'm going to leave it for today. I gave you a little update. I basically put all my plans on the table to also hold myself accountable to try this again. And I will keep you updated on it for sure. We got Lopez here, not singing with the gyrate anymore. Okay, that's also fine. But yeah, thank you everyone so much for watching today. I hope this was still somewhat interesting, or maybe also just reassuring, because, you know, other people struggle as well. And then without further ado, I wish you all a happy new year. I'm excited to get back to my project in the coming year, and I hope to see some of you then as well. Thank you so much for watching again today, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye everyone.